Hi, everyone. This is Betsy Wurzel, your host of Chatting with Betsy on Passionate World Talk Radio, where our mantra is to educate, enlighten, and entertain. The views of the guests may not represent those of the host or the station. Folks, I love doing what I do, and I interview all people from all walks of life, CEOs, best-selling international authors, caregivers, and who I really love to interview are everyday people who had a struggle or who have a struggle, and they are living their life, and they're inspiring, and they're motivating, and they inspire me. And I like to have people on here who have taken some unfortunate experience in their life, or they might have an illness or disability, and they are kicking it. They are kicking life. They are enjoying life. They're living it. And I just find that inspiring. And with me today is an inspirational person, Danielle Cauldwell. She is owner of Dan Can Shred. She is the first adaptive snowboarder in the world. She is writer and author of Danny Doll in Ragdoll Land. She's assistant to Wynn Charles, and Wynn Charles, who I interviewed, she has a podcast called Artwork of CP, which I have been a guest on. And Danielle is inspiration, and I can't wait to interview Danielle. So Danielle Cauldwell, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. Welcome to Chatting with Betsy.
You are happy to be here.
You are welcome, Danielle. You are such an inspiration. I have to ask you, what is your business, Dan Can Shred? Because that's an interesting name for a business.
Dan Can Shred is my website that I made to share what I do with being the first adaptive snowboarder in the world. Later, I started to add what I do outside of snowboarding, including my books I wrote, podcasts that I do with Wynn, and my love of acting in plays and being a kid entertainer.
Awesome. I want people to know that the information about Danielle will be in the blog. And I highly recommend you go on the website, Dan Can Shred, because you will be inspired by what you read about Danielle. Danielle, what inspired you to write your book?
And the Ragdoll Clown is my first character that I worked as for my friend's kid entertainment business. I wrote this story based off of how I met my friend Nino when his circus came to town and what my friends say to the kids while we work. With the two ideas, it made me so excited to write this story that I wrote it down in 2 weeks.
That's amazing. And will you be writing more books?
I want to, but I need to find free time to do it.
Awesome. And how did you get interested in snowboarding?
My dad bought me a PS2 with a snowboard game for a Christmas gift, and I fell in love with the game that it made me realize that I want to snowboard in real life.
That is cool. I love the video on your website. Which is why I'm telling the audience, you have to check out Danielle's website and see her snowboarding, because I'll tell you why. Well, I'm too old now to be snowboarding. But even when I was young, like Danielle is, I would be too chicken to do something like that. So, Danielle, you have a lot of guts. You have grit. You have determination. And I just love that. I just love that you are that you snowboard. That's phenomenal. And I had been on, actually I met Danielle through Win Charles. And Win Charles has a podcast that I just mentioned, and I've been a guest on there. And Danielle is an assistant to Win Charles. How did you become Win Charles' assistant?
I met Win when I was 5 years old, and we have been best friends ever since. Years later,
Wow.
we were assistant because we have the same disability, cerebral palsy.
Wow. So you've been friends since you're 5 years old. That is that is really cool. That's a lifelong friend. That is that is awesome. I just think that's wonderful, because so many times I know in my own life I don't have lifelong friends. They go away, they move away, I don't know, you grow apart. But I think it's so precious to have a lifelong friend. That's a rarity, and you're very fortunate, you and Win Charles, to have each other as lifelong friends. That is awesome. Danielle, what would you like? Go ahead. It is. Yes. What would you like people to know about you?
Come up and say hi to me and anyone who has a disability. You will be amazed at what you learn from them, and don't judge them by their cover.
Absolutely. Oh, amen. Absolutely. I so agree with that, Danielle. You know, people. Actually, I was on Win Charles' show last week, and we were talking about exactly that. People tend to judge those who have a disability. I've seen it with my own eyes. I have experienced it, and I want people to know that just because someone is in a wheelchair doesn't mean they can't talk, that they can't think. They are just as good as an able-bodied person, and they can talk, they can think, and they are human. Treat them with respect and dignity, just like how you want to be treated. And I can't say this enough, and I might sound redundant, and I don't care, but you know what, folks? All it takes, God forbid, is an accident, and you or your loved one can be in a wheelchair. How do you want to be treated? How do you want your loved one to be treated? Then treat a person how you want to be treated and how your loved one wants to be treated. And people might say, Betsy, you get so passionate about that. Yes, I do, because I worked with the severely disabled. I'm part of that. I was part of that community, and I see how people treat those who are disabled, and I don't like what I see a lot of times. And I just think that we should all treat each other with respect and dignity, and that's it. That's being part of a human being to me. Danielle, I know I didn't write this down, but what would you like people to know about how to treat someone with a disability? Yes. You know, we need to treat people really how we want to be treated. And I want to encourage people to read Danielle's book, which is on Amazon and on Danielle's website, Dan Can Shred. And I think it would be a great book to have in every school library so children can see that there are people with disabilities who are thriving, surviving, and living life. And Danielle, you are a true inspiration, and you are such a motivator, because there's able-bodied people that like feel sorry for themselves for whatever reason, and like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, and here you are kicking butt, snowboarding, writing a book, being an assistant, that's living life. Yes, that's, you're living your life, and I just think that that's awesome, what you're doing. And the website will be listed in the blog, Dan Can Shred, and it will be in the website along with a picture of Danielle's book. The name of the book is Danny Doll in Ragdoll Land. And I just want to say Danielle was born with cerebral palsy. And I know it's not easy when you have a disability. I've had people on here before who have disabilities, were bullied, made fun of. And I think as parents, guardians, we need to teach our children to treat people with respect and dignity, and not to be afraid of people who walk with the cane or walk with a walker or are in a wheelchair. And I know I worked in a preschool. Children don't care. They don't care if another child looks different, has a disability, different color. They don't care about that. It's the adults that do. So we need to be more like kids, and let's play in the sandbox together.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Danielle, for coming on today. I appreciate it.
Yes, you.
You are so welcome. And as I said before, folks, go on Danielle's website, read about her, tell your children, you have young children, if you have a child with a disability, let them read about Danielle. They will be inspired. They will be motivated. And Danielle would like a movie made about her. I saw that on your website, Danielle. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I would definitely go see that, Danielle. A movie about you. And hey, you never know. It could very well happen. And I just want to thank you for coming on. And I want to thank the audience for listening. And please share my show, because my show, I want people to know that they're not alone. We think we're alone, but we're not alone in how we feel. And I have wonderful guests on who are wonderful resources and inspiring people that will help you and can help your loved ones and your friends. So when you share this show, you are helping me help others, and you are helping me to honor my husband Matt's memory, because it's because of my husband that I really had this show. My husband was my inspiration, my catalyst to get in my car, do my videos, and that's how Jeanne White, her station manager, Passionate World Talk Radio, discovered me. So I want to thank everyone for listening and subscribing, and I want to thank Jeanne White for producing and the show, writing the blog. I want to thank Lillian Cauldwell, CEO of Passionate World Talk Radio, who makes this all possible. And as I always say at the end of my show, in a world where you could be anything, to please be kind, shine your light bright, because if we all did that, it would be a brighter, kinder world. And that's what I believe. And that's what I try to do every day. And that's what I had to say today, folks. So thank you for listening. And it was a pleasure meeting you, Danielle, and best wishes to you. I know you'll eventually have a movie made. I know you'll write another book. I have no doubt about that. And I can't wait to see a movie about your life. So best wishes to you. You're You are welcome. And it's hard to say today, folks. It's a short but sweet show. And I just want to thank everyone for listening and your support. And I appreciate it. Please, as I said, be kind, shine your light bright. Until we chat again, take care. And God bless you. This is Betsy Wurzel, host of Chatting with Betsy on Passionate World Talk Radio. Bye-bye now.